Hey, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live with me, Mike Avery. And I'm not going into surgery. I know what you thought. Avery's going into surgery tonight, right? He's going to take us behind the scenes in the operating room. I'm not. Where we are tonight is with my friends at Michigan Brand Meats. We're going to take a little tour of their Bay City, Michigan plant. They have two plants, one in Frankenmuth, Michigan, one in Bay City, Michigan. Tonight, we're going to take a look at their Bay City plant. Sean, good evening. How are you? Now, what I'm not going to do, my friends, is I'm not going to try to touch the screen and bring your comments up because I'm working on a phone tonight, so it's a really small screen. But Sean, I see you. Kevin, I see you. Tommy, hey, Tommy, I used your question on the Ask Avery segment. Brent James is with us. Nick, Brent's with us.
Yeah,
Brent Plowman, good evening, buddy. How are you? So what we're going to do tonight, and if you have questions as we do this little tour here of the plant, if you have questions, feel free to ask. If I don't see them, maybe Nick will see them or one of the other guys will see them, and we will be more than happy to answer your questions. But where I'm at is the Michigan Brand plant in Bay City. You know I love Michigan Brand. You know I love Michigan-based, family-owned companies, especially when they make products like this, especially when they make products with my name on it. You got to love that, right? Jim, hello, good evening. I've got two Jims with us tonight. Lost Glove Farms is with us as well. Now, once we get in the back here, I'm going to have to pull this up because this is a state licensed facility. So just know that ahead. Jim says, good to see you today. Nice to see you tonight as well. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn my phone/camera around, and we're going to talk with Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand. Now, you remember, when I use this system here in the field, it takes me just a little bit to get this thing turned around. So please bear with me as we do that. Back camera. And there's Nick right there. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Hey, Mike. What's going on, guys?
Always a pleasure. Nick, you and I do business together, but we've also become good friends, fishing buddies, hunting buddies. It's always nice to see you, but to see you in this environment here at work, that's kind of fun, kind of different.
Yep. A lot of times we're hanging out. We're usually snacking on some Michigan Brand products.
Oh, yeah.
But tonight we're behind the scenes seeing how it's going to be made. We're going to have a fun night.
Tell me a little bit about Michigan Brand. Your company, Michigan Brand, to me means Michigan only or not, based in Michigan. Tell me the story of Michigan Brand.
Yeah, so we've been around a while now. We're a third generation family-owned business. We started in the 80s actually under a different name. It used to be called Bay City Meats. We're still at the original location here on the south end of Bay City. And then my mom and dad purchased the company from my grandpa in the late 80s. But in 1994, my dad changed the name to Michigan Brand. And he went the direction of jerky. He just had a feeling that jerky was going to take off. So my grandpa did some jerky for like the deer customers that brought in the venison and the deer back then, but he never really touched much into the jerky. So my dad kind of took that off, and the business really took off great then with the jerky, but we still have some of the original recipes that we use, like my grandpa's ham is still the same that he used in the 80s. We still do a lot of products, sausage products and stuff. So over the years, we've changed a lot. We grew with the world. So we used to do just deli meats and even restaurant foods like burger patties. The deli meats, like I mentioned, salamis and bolognas for deli cases. And then we went the jerky route, like I mentioned. We started getting a lot more into the summer sausage, like we do now, the venison buck sticks and the elks and all that. But really, that's a huge part of our business, the sausage and the hams, like I mentioned, but jerky really is kind of our biggest part of our business right now. A lot of people love jerky. It's a great road snack. It's a lot healthier for you than a lot of the snacks that are out there. So we're across the state, pretty big right now. We actually hit it about 2 weeks ago. We are over 500 locations right now, just in Michigan.
Nice.
And a lot of that is some bait and tackle stores, either the small mom and pop stores. Some are big gas stations across the state. Some of them are really good friends, like, Rapid River up in the UP. And so and Jay's, obviously. We have a lot of locations throughout the state. That's probably our number one question is, where can we find your product? And we have a store locator right on our website, michiganbrand.net. That's going to be the best place to check us out and obviously to see what products, where they are across the state.
Craig Plowman says your hams are the greatest I've ever had.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, I know you've had some.
They are. So how big, hold a couple of these up, how big
Yeah.
is the jerky and snack stick business? This is a bigger deal than what I had originally thought, Nick.
Yeah, yep. So this is a perfect example of one of the things we have changed and adapted to over the years. This is called a hunter stick. Now this is a shelf stable product. Shelf stable obviously means it can be left out at room temperature. It does not have to be refrigerated. So a lot of this we do in jerky as well, but these are hunter sticks right here. They're a 4-inch dried hunter. And this is a lot of our sales, especially ones we ship out that we don't hand deliver, because it doesn't have to be refrigerated. So it's a lot easier to put on shipping trucks. You don't have to pay for refrigeration or shipping or cold boxes. So a lot of our accounts take these shelf stable products like this. Now we still have a refrigerated line. Here in Bay City, we do a little bit of both. We do refrigerated and shelf stable. Now over the years, when the shelf stable took off like crazy, we got so busy, we had to hire a bunch of employees. We started a second facility 8 years ago in Frankenmuth. Now that one, we primarily do shelf stable. So we do a lot of different products. Actually, at Michigan Brand, between both locations, we have over 450 SKUs, just different variety of items that we do out of these two locations. Right now, we're sitting about a little over 180 employees. We have 2 shifts at both locations. So it really is kind of amazing what our company has turned into these last 20, 30 years.
Johnny Bowler, our friend Johnny Bowler,
Yeah.
says great jerky. Sean Hodges, who runs an Angler Quest, and maybe this is not a fair question, but he says, will we ever see a display of Michigan Brand at Frank's Great Outdoors?
Actually, we did years ago, yep. So we'll have to talk to them again and see if we can get back in there. That'd be great.
So what are we going to do tonight, Nick? You're going to walk us through. The guys are going to walk us through. What are we going to see?
Yep. So we thought, it's been a few years. Like you mentioned, you were in the Frankenmuth plant I think it was 4 years ago now. It's already been quite a few years.
Yeah.
But we saw the process of making our jerky, making our sausage, and that was to kind of showcase the new facility. Well, tonight we thought it'd be fun to get you in the building and see how these sticks are made. So these are, you might have heard of them, the Mike Avery peppered elk sticks. These are, like I mentioned, peppered elk. So it's a pork and elk stick. And we got a little bit of extra black pepper in there. They're in the dried hunter format. And we're going to make them here tonight for you. So we're going to kind of run through the whole process. We'll start out kind of showing you the seasonings and the spices. We'll go right into the room and show you how we grind it and mix it. We stuff it, we hang it, and then we got some jerky that we're cooking right now too. We're going to show you how we hang and cook that. And yeah, we'll see what more fun we can get into tonight.
And who have we got with us? Who are your guys tonight with us?
All right, so we got 2 gentlemen here that are pretty big guys at Michigan Brand with us. Right here we got Brad. He is our first shift plant supervisor. And then here we got Joe. He is our second shift plant supervisor. So these are the guys that kind of run our day-to-day operations as far as the batch sheets, or cooking batches, everything. So they're, we have a lot of great employees here, but these are 2 of our guys that run the ships here in Bay City. So
2 of the key guys.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Glad to meet you.
So they're going to be showing the process now. So we're going to actually head back right now. So you guys want to lead the way?
And did you turn the fan off in there, guys?
I did.
Excellent, excellent. All right, my friends, I'm not going to turn the camera around. I will follow my buddy Nick.
Yep.
Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand Meats. We're walking through the door here. We're going behind the scenes at Michigan Brand Meats at their Bay City plant, michiganbrand.net, michiganbrand.net.
So we won't spend a lot of time in here right now because we're going to show the spices first, but this is our processing room. As you can see right now, this is some cherry maple turkey jerky. It's a dead giveaway with the cherry with the color, so that's one of our most popular flavors of jerky. They're hanging that right now. This is our sausage line, but we'll show that here in a little bit. So right now we're going to head to the spices. All
right. We're following Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand into the spice room. We're at the Bay City plant. The website for Michigan Brand, michiganbrand.net. That's michiganbrand.net. There's a store locator on that website. And where are we getting now, Nick? What is this?
Yep, so this is our spice room. This is kind of where the behind the scenes mad scientist takes place. So a lot of our recipes we have come up with over the years. Now, some of them are ones that we've had around for 20 plus years. Some we've tweaked and touched. For example, we have a ghost pepper right now that we just started this last year. So if you're into that really hot stuff, we have a ghost pepper hot jerky. Now that's just our beef recipe that we added some ghost pepper to it to get a really hot bite. So we touch on that a lot. But right here is our spice room where we're going to show you. So Joe, he's going to take over from here and show you the process.
All right, Joe, let's see what we got in here.
Well, we got, in this room alone, we have over 40 seasonings and spices. And here at Michigan Brand, we use over 100 different ingredients, including herbs, seasonings, spices, flavorings, to make our handcrafted made meats the best they can be.
Who's your helper here?
This is Tori, one of our girls here. And she'll weigh out these herbs and seasonings and spices right to the decimal so that we make sure we get every batch and recipe the same each and every time.
So you got a recipe here.
Yeah, you might recognize this. Oh, wait.
Proprietary. No, don't show that. Don't show that.
That's top secret intel. But yeah, so we actually, for a little fun facts, we have over 100 different spices and herbs that we use.
Go ahead. Well, I'll watch you as we're doing it. Yeah, please.
And we purchase over 1 million pounds of wet and dry ingredients yearly.
1 million pounds.
1 million pounds. It's incredible.
Wow.
Most people, if they were to empty their spice drawers out at home and put it all into a bowl, they'd maybe have a pound, but 1 million pounds yearly.
All right, I'm gonna walk over here and just kind of watch her a little bit here, and you're gonna be very precise. You say.
Yes.
That is
This is some salt.
salt. And you've done this a few times, I'm sure.
Yeah, a couple times.
How big of a batch will this make that you're doing right now?
What piece of
How big of a batch?
So this is a 150-pound batch that we're doing right now. So as you can see, this bag of seasoning right here, this is for 150 pounds. We have different batch sizes we do based on the type of product. Some of them are 300 up to 600. Some of them are even up to 900 pounds. It all kind of depends what we're cooking that day. So for this tonight, we're doing just one single batch with 150 pounds.
So that's all mixed up. That's ready to go.
Yep, this is the peppered elk seasonings that we're gonna show getting made. So want to go show that real quick?
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well,
All right.
We'll hand this over to Brad.
All right.
Here's this. Here's this.
Thank you,
And
Joe.
he can show you the procedures and the techniques and the making my beer.
All right, Brad, I'm following you. Is that right?
That sounds right.
All right.
We're gonna go right through here, back
Right
to the
back in
process
there
now.
again. Okay.
This is Sam. This is our chopper mixer. He's going to be doing the batch for you.
Oh, this is a metal building, is it, Nick? Do you have Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, everybody, tell me right now. I'm going to turn this around and ask the viewers a question here. Let me turn it to the front camera. All right, my friends, let me ask you this. How is the quality? I'm on a cell signal here right now, and outside the cell signal was very, very good. Inside, I understand it's starting to freeze up a little bit. So just tell me, how is the cell signal? How is your video quality? Is it good? Is it freezing up? How is the audio quality? Because I really can't tell. Just okay, not great, Emil says. Okay. Like at the Lumberjack, Emil, is that what we're talking about? Pixelization, but audio is okay. It's good right now. Okay. It's all good. It's kind of a mixed review. It sounds like it's okay, but not great. We probably should have hooked up to Wi-Fi before we got in here, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I forgot about that part.
So did I. All right, again, we are at the Michigan Brand plant in Bay City, Michigan. I'm wearing this because this is a state licensed facility. They're making food products in here, so you have to wear the right garb. Better now than here. Okay, it's jittery like you're drunk. Well, Kevin, you are drunk. That's why the video's like this, Kevin. You are actually drunk. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back around. We're just going to go with it the way it is. I'll turn my camera back around, and we'll do this. Front camera, back camera, boom. Okay, guys, sorry for that. Where are we now? Where are we going to pick it up?
So we're back in the processing room. We're going to go mix mix up the Mike Avery peppered out sticks.
Excellent, excellent. Good choice.
So we have the meat already ground up for you. So Sam here, he's going to be entering the spices, mixing it,
Hey,
and then
Sam.
we're going to show the process.
How you doing?
Hey.
Can I walk over here and see what you're doing? Is this, am I okay right here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, that gets things done.
Yeah.
Don Krzyzak says, hi, Nick.
So certain ingredients cannot be chopped and ground up. So we're entering this during the mixing stage.
Tell me that again. What did you just say?
So certain ingredients you actually can't grind up or chop. So they have to get mixed only. So that's
Really?
why you saw the grind there. And now he's doing the final mixing before we put it in the hopper.
Am I okay here, guys? I don't want to get in the way of anything.
Yep,
Okay.
perfect.
Man, that does a job. Dennis McDonald says, I can almost smell and taste the jerky. Beautiful. Nice. Mike Sills, Michigan Outdoorsman, says hi to the crew tonight. Mike, nice to have you along with us.
Now
Okay.
that we're chopping this,
Going up?
we're going to put it into the hopper.
So that saves us a little backaches there, lifting that up.
Yes, so.
But that's our the peppered elk hunter sausage. It's already ground up. They put in the mix or the spices and mix that up as you saw. So right now they put it in the meat bag. And this is our sausage sucker.
What am I going to see here, Nick? Can I come over here and take a look?
Yep.
Priming it right now. It's gonna come out right here.
Come on here, okay.
So right
We're at the
now-
Michigan Brand plant in Bay City, Michigan, michiganbrand.net, michiganbrand.net.
So right now we're slowly getting the sausage into the form so we can get ready to start making this.
So you kind of get some of it into the system, get it into the tubing and such, and
Correct. yeah.
Okay.
So then when the product starts coming out, you get the consistency you want right from the start.
nice, nice, nice.
Show them the casings, right?
So, I'm gonna grab a casing for them. This here is a stick of casings. So right here is gonna make about 20 to 25 pounds of snack sticks per casing strand.
And what is that casing made out of?
That is a
Collagen.
beef collagen
Okay,
casing.
beef, okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I gotta.
Yep, I'll get out of your way, sorry. He's doing some technical stuff here.
Getting the casing prepped. So it's going to the front.
He's been open for a while, so we gotta get him wet.
Yeah.
Okay?
A little hot. Might still hot.
And you
Sometimes-
run this, you run one shift a day, two, how many?
Two shifts a day here.
Two
at
shifts a
Basic.
day.
Yeah. So we only make sausage on first shift, but tonight we're doing the special. We're having it on second shift for you.
Okay,
All the guys
nice.
came back.
I appreciate that.
Just to
Thank you
show,
very
yeah.
much. Thank you.
Of course.
Appreciate that. Nick, you said where'd Nick go? Where's Nick?
Nick's right behind you.
Third generation, Nick. That's something to be proud of, hey, buddy?
Yep, that is. And you know, the family aspect is big for us, but as you can see, we got a lot of people in this room right now that we wouldn't be anywhere without the employees.
All right, I'll come back to you, Nick.
So we just ran the first set of sticks through. We're a little bit short on the 4-inch snack stick, so we're going to increase the sizing, and then we're going to start running it right back.
Ah, so when you say a 4-inch snack stick, I mean, this is measured. You're getting
Yes,
a 4-inch
we have a
snack
ruler
stick.
here. We do a little over 4 inches, but you see slight variations, a little under, a little over.
Okay. Forgive me if I'm in your way here. I apologize. And these are all the Mike Avery hunter sticks here?
Yes, these are all the Mike Avery tempered out sticks.
That's not,
Right.
went to the wrong one.
Sometimes running this stuff, we have a few minor hiccups to
Sure.
get going.
Sure, and when you first start it up, I'm sure it takes a little bit to get it calibrated and set up and ready to go.
Yes. So as
But
soon
you
as we
guys have
it
a
ready-
lot of experience doing this, that's for sure, right?
Yeah, of course. Tom's
Wow.
been doing it for about 4 years now.
4 years? Wow, he's
Been here for 5.
5 years.
Another company for things.
Ah, we don't mention other companies. While we're doing this, can we talk about what's over here? Is that all right?
Yeah, of course. So if you want to come this way,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll show you a little bit of our shelf stable and our refrigerated products.
Okay.
So right here, we are hooking cherry maple turkey. This is made with Michigan-made maple syrup. So the refrigerated is a little bit different than the product behind me. Here we have our shelf stable.
All right,
This here,
so this is shelf stable what?
this is shelf stable teriyaki beef. The difference between the shelf stable and the refrigerated, we tenderize the shelf stable to give you that quality bite that you're looking for when you go purchase your jerky.
All right, can I come over and take a close look at this stuff here? So,
And then this here is the refrigerated cherry turkey.
turkey breast. The cherry is very popular. I know a lot of people who just love the cherry.
Cherry turkey is our #1 refrigerated turkey variant.
Cherry turkey, as you
Cherry
say?
turkey is our #1
Nice.
refrigerated turkey.
Nice. Can
Next
we?
to honey.
Well, I'll go back over to here. Can we wander over here? Can we see what this is? All right. As long as we're over here.
So the two major differences you see in there, he was cooking the jerky. Here for the shelf stable, we screen the jerky.
You screen it. What does that mean?
So we have these screens here that are heat safe and they're non-stick. So when we put it through our smokehouses, get good quality jerky coming out.
So are we going to get a chance to see that smokehouse at all tonight? We won't go in there, but get a little glimpse of
Yes,
it?
we have a cook coming out here shortly.
Excellent.
We're going to see that coming out.
Excellent. Very nice. Very interesting. And then here, same thing or no?
Same thing here, yeah. We have it separated species. We have the turkey on the one side, we have the beef on the other side.
So this has been, has this been cooked or it gets smoked to make it be cooked, Nick?
Correct. It gets smoked. So sorry.
That's all right. So this is smoked?
Yes, this
Okay.
is smoked turkey.
Okay.
So we cook this in our smokehouses. We add about an hour and a half of smoke to it to make it that smoked beef that everyone likes.
And you're running 2 shifts a day, 5 days a week,
5
making
days a week,
jerky and
occasional
hunter
weekends,
sticks
yes.
and wow.
Sausages, you have bologna, hams, just about anything you can think of.
Really impressive. Let's go back over and see those hunter sticks again. Oh, can we, can we talk about this?
Yeah. So this here we have about 900 pounds of beef rounds. So these here are thawing for next shift production. So we'll be cutting them in the morning and then we're going to slice them. The slicer's not set up right now, but that'll give you the kind of piecing that you have
Okay,
on the other
all right.
side there.
Wow. 900 pounds right there. Man, the volume you guys do is so impressive. Are we good to go here? Are we rocking over here
Yeah.
now? Oh, look at this. We are good to go now. Man. You've done this before too, haven't you?
Couple times.
Yeah, a couple times. I can see that. So these get hung here for what reason?
Yes, we hang them here on the strands. There's strands on the rod there. So what they're doing is they're separating them as he's putting them on, so they get the even cook throughout the process. You get the even smoke, the same color, the same consistency during the cook.
All right, now we're making.
Yeah,
Now we're
now-
making 106. Man. You do this in your sleep?
As you can see, this is called a tipper tie machine. So what it's doing is it's twisting that casing right now. As you saw earlier with the casings, it's just one long tube basically,
Right,
one long
right.
casing. So when the machine's working nice and good like this right now, it's spitting it out and twisting every 4 inches or so. And right now it's working good. So right now, how many sticks per minute do you think we're getting?
So right now we're doing about 120 sticks per minute. On average, each beam you fit about 300 sticks.
And these are gonna go where?
From here, they'll go into the smokehouse.
They will go to the smokehouse, okay.
So the cook cycle for the peppered out snack sticks is a little different than our other snack sticks. This here is an 8-hour cook.
8 hours.
8 hours, yeah. Sometimes we cook them overnight. Sometimes we cook them during the shift.
So there's a lot that goes into this process.
Yes.
Yeah, talk about a low and slow cook, but that's exactly right. That's where so much of our process ties into our cook cycles, our production list. We got 8 hours tied up here with just one batch of hunters. We have 4 smokehouses here in Bay City. So again, if we lose one smokehouse for 4 hours or 8 hours, yeah, we got to try to figure out how to tie in and everything. So it's a lot of math and a lot of figuring it out instead of just throwing something in the smokehouse and saying we'll grab it whenever. So
I hear about this smokehouse. Can we see it? Is it timed?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So we cook around the clock a lot of times. Like Brad mentioned, sometimes we cook overnight. Sometimes we're cooking. Obviously, we're always cooking throughout the day. But some of our cooks, like our hams, for example, those cook all night. So those we'll usually put in at 8 or 9 at night, and they'll cook all throughout the night. Wow.
14 hours.
14 hours. Yeah. So a lot of that is keeping an eye on it. With these dang things, they're so smart. So some of our smokehouses have the capabilities that we can check them from our phone. So in case we have any issues with humidity or anything like that, we can adjust it right from here. But while we're here, obviously, we have smokehouse operators that check on it all day. So right now we have some shelf-stable jerky that's ready to go.
It's ready right now.
So let's go see it get pulled.
Again, we're at the Michigan. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Michigan brand plant in Bay City, Michigan. MichiganBrand.net. That's MichiganBrand.net. I know it's a little bit loud right now, but
All right, ready to go. So here we have Nick. He's our smokehouse operator. He's going to be pulling out this teriyaki beef for you.
will it come out the door? Or? So this is a smokehouse.
This here is the smokehouse. This here is our teriyaki shelf-stable beef. It's a 300-pound vat. We have 2 carts, 26 streets on each cart. Each side of each cart is 50
We probably can't hear you right now, okay? Just because it's so loud. But let me get in here and take a look at this, okay? Is that all right? So this has been cooked already. This has been smoked for, what do you say, 8 hours?
No, this here shelf-stable jerky, it's about anywhere from a 2.5 to a 5-hour cook, depending on the product that we're doing. This here was about 3.5 hours.
Boy, it smells great. So this is a smokehouse. Nice. Beautiful.
Yep. So as you can see, we have 4 different smokehouses here. As Brad mentioned, there's 2 trucks in each one. So Nick's gonna pull out the racks right now. This is the same recipe and same jerky that we're hanging right now. It's a shelf-stable teriyaki beef.
Very nice. And if I look in here, there's more. Wow. I'm getting hungry, Nick.
Just go a little quiet.
All right. There we go. I remember this. We came in this way. Should we go down to that room, Nick, where we can get out of the sun?
Yep, let's go talk a little bit.
Excellent, excellent. I can take off my garb?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. Let me turn this back around here and just remind people where we are at. Give me just a second here to get this done. I know it's kind of a hassle, but front camera. Okay. Back to where we started.
Yep.
At the Michigan Brand plant in Bay City, an interesting tour. You made me aware, Nick, that while we were in there, maybe our signal wasn't as good as it could have been. I apologize for that. But I'll just remind people again, we're at the Michigan Brand plant in Bay City, Michigan. Michigan Brand has 2 plants, Bay City and Frankenmuth. If you go into the archives, 4, 5, 6 years ago even, you can see a Wednesday night live that we did at the Frankenmuth plant. Michigan Brand is a great, I'm telling you, a great company, a great Michigan-based company. We just took a tour of the plant. I'm going to turn the camera back around now and talk more with Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand in here in the office where it's nice and calm. So we'll do that. We'll turn the camera around. And boom, there he is. The man, Nick Grillo, third generation at Michigan Brand. I think that is so cool, Nick. I got to tell you, I have so much respect for a company that can survive and thrive for that long.
Yep, and I appreciate those kind words. That's something we take to heart, being a family-owned business. And it's not always the easiest working with your family, but it's definitely a great reward getting to work with your family. And like I mentioned earlier in the live, we are a 3rd generation family-owned business. My mom and dad still own the business today. My brother Joe and me are currently working at the company with an additional 180 employees between the 2 facilities. So we have a lot of great employees that work for us. We have 2 shifts, 2 locations, the first and the second shift. We're producing around the clock. We have a lot of meat that comes in and out of this building. And one thing we pride ourselves is on quality. So that's one reason we wanted to have you out here tonight, Mike, to kind of show you the process and show you how we make these sticks.
Dave Lett said Mike shouldn't have to wear a hairnet. I agree, but it is, and that's a good point, Nick. This is not a bunch of guys making this in the back of the garage.
Yeah.
This is a state licensed, very regulated, food grade, obviously, facility.
Exactly. Yep. We're a USDA plant. We're a facility. We're inspected every day, which is a good thing. Obviously, you know, we need to be able to sell this product and do it in a safe manner. So we have a lot of rules and regulations we have to follow, like having Mike wear a hairnet, even though he's got his head shaved there. So it's one of those rules we've checked before. And yes, even if you're head shaved, you still have to wear hairnets.
Are all of your products wild game products?
No, so actually the majority of our product right now is the beef and the turkey. So we get the beef from all out west, and any given week right now, for example, let's take jerky. We're producing anywhere between about 35 to 45,000 pounds a week right now of just beef jerky. And again, we do a lot of different varieties. We do turkey jerky, we do pork, and then we do the wild games, like you mentioned, the elk, the venison, the buffalo. And then we even do exotics. We have alligator, kangaroo, salmon. We have ostrich. And then when you get into the shelf-stable sticks, now that was just jerky, but you get into sausage, we have even more lines. But this is one that we're very happy with, the Mike Avery Peppered Elk Sticks. These are sold across the state. There's a lot of great locations that carry them. But yeah, it's a great business to be a part of. And when I first started, when I was about 15, we had about 30 employees and one shift, like I mentioned, just here at the Bay City location. So me and my brother Joe used to have to do a lot of the jobs ourselves, as far as we were cutting the jerky, then we were hanging the jerky and doing the sausage. Yeah. Then the next day we had to cook it, or we had to package the jerky ourselves. We had to even deliver it. So we were kind of doing each step ourselves. So it was kind of great starting out like that, being able to get every process in under our boots and know how everything works.
Brian said, let me just interrupt. Brian says, do you operate 24/7? I think we found out 2 shifts.
Correct. Yeah, 2 shifts. Our second shift goes till about 12:30. We clean a little bit after, so we're only shut down for about 5 hours. But we, you're still allowed to cook after your inspected time, as long as it's cooking throughout. You're not pulling it or packaging it or anything like that. So we are. Most of the time, we're cooking around the clock. We are cooking 24 hours.
Jim in Tennessee says we eat them here in Tennessee. Emil Russo from Forward Corporation says, hey, Nick, are you doing any wholesale hams for food service?
Yes, we do. We do that quite often, yeah. And that's something I'd love to talk about a little bit tonight is hams. Now it seems like it's like no way that it's already coming up, but it's not that far until holiday season's coming up. I mean, first we got to get to fall with deer season and everything, but we got our ham season coming up. Custom, like I mentioned, or just kind of mentioned about the hunting season coming up. That's coming up quick. So we do still offer that. We call it custom. What it is you bring in your own deer meat, venison, buffalo, elk, bear meat, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
Any of your meat that you'd like us to turn into jerky, sausage, any products like that, we can do that for you. Now, one of the new, it's not that new, it's been about 5-6 years. We cannot take in a whole carcass anymore. We used to do deer processing years ago.
CWD, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. And so all the meat has to be off the bone. So you had to do that with your bear meat, right, Mike?
Right, right.
You got it all off the bone, brought it into us, and you can bring it in whole muscle. You don't have to trim it up for jerky or sausage meat or anything like that. You can literally just debone it, bring it to us, and say, I want so much made into jerky, the rest sausage, and we can take it from there. We'll slice it ourselves. We'll do everything. So now we're a little under a month until the youth hunt. That's already coming up in about 3 weekends. So
Here's an interesting comment. Just let me.
Yep.
Jay says Tool Truck Pro is an independent mobile tool truck dealer in Springfield, Illinois, and will be carrying Michigan brand meats, shelf-stable products on the truck.
heck yeah, I love it.
How cool is that?
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Yep. So like I mentioned earlier, if you didn't hear, we have over 500 locations right now just in the state of Michigan. So a lot of that are bait and tackle shops, some of our food markets like Sanford Food Pride. We got the Family Fare supermarkets. We have lots of locations like that all across the state. So, and then for example, that's one outlet that's going to be great for us.
Yeah.
We do sell online as well. So even if you're down in Florida or Texas or any other states, we get that a lot where a lot of people move out of the state and say, man, it's been about 2 years since I've had some Michigan brand product. I got to have you ship some down, and yep, we can ship it direct to you.
Tim Benz is kind of a follow-up question. He said, what about custom from his own beef and pigs? Again, if it's deboned, you can bring it in and you guys can do a custom job?
Correct. Yep. We actually do that as well too. Now, here's kind of, there's a long reason for why we can do it, but for on beef and pork, you can bring us the whole quarter in and we can pump it and smoke it like a ham. So you can bring that in if that's what you're mentioning as far as beef and pork like that. But we do that quite often too, where people will bring in all their burger meat. Let's say you had a cow butchered. You're getting a new cow butchered and you want to burn through all your burger that's left in your freezer. Bring it on in and we can turn it into any sausage, snack sticks. Obviously we can't with jerky, but if you bring us in any rounds or any big pieces of meat, we can slice it up in jerky and turn it into it. And we do have that list on the website. That's michiganbrand.net. We do have our custom list on there. And yeah, so that's going to be coming up here soon. Before we know it, we'll be talking deer hunting and seeing deer pictures every day.
And again, that website, michiganbrand.net, you've got a store locator on there. You've got locations all across the state. Question somebody asked, where do you get all of this meat and wild game that you guys process?
Yeah, so it's kind of all over. So we have a lot of suppliers. For example, our beef is out of Chicago and Detroit. They get a lot of the meat from out west states. So Kansas, Iowa, states like that. And we get in only a certain cut. We use inside rounds as our main cut of beef that we use. So now out of an inside round, that's only one cut out of the cow that we use for jerky. And like I mentioned a little bit ago, on a normal week, right now during our busy months, we're doing about anywhere between 35 to 45,000 pounds a week of beef jerky. And like I mentioned, that's only one cut of beef that we're using out of that.
Don't mind me, Nick. I'm just
Go ahead, snack away.
shelf stable. What does that mean as far as how long can a shelf stable product like this, the Mike Avery 100 sticks, which I'm going to munch on right now, how long can they stay out without being refrigerated?
Yep. So like we mentioned, these do not have to be refrigerated. So they, because we cook them and they dry down to a certain percentage, that's one of our cooks or tests that we have to do for every cook to prove that it's in the shelf stable category. It's called a water activity test. So you have to dry this down enough. So once you get it down to that certain level, these are safe. Right now, we have up to 15 months. So as long as there's not oxygen that gets in there. So we have oxygen absorbers in every pack that help suck any oxygen that might be left in the bag. And as long as the seal is good on this, this package will last for 15 months. Now, there's certain things that could always fluctuate. For example, you leave it in your hot truck. Right now in Michigan, it's real hot. You leave your windows up, you throw this in your truck and leave it sit for a week or two. It's going to start sweating on the inside of the bag.
Yep.
So that might mess with the integrity of it, and you might have issues, even if it isn't open. Now you open it, like this pack we just opened. This will be fine for a couple days, no issue. But we always recommend that you refrigerate this within 3 days of opening for the same reason. It's getting oxygen to the meat. And after so long, you might start building up issues with bacteria or any kind of mold issues or anything. But if you have a package of this laying around for 3 days open, then, not a lot of people.
That's what I was going to say. If you can open it and leave it open for 3 days without eating it, something's wrong. What else, Nick? We got a couple more minutes before I wrap it up. What else do you want to talk about?
These Mike Avery sticks are great for us, but we have a whole hunter line, like I mentioned. We have teriyaki. We have original, we have cherry, we have honey barbecue, we have a whole line, and that's just our shelf-stable hunters. Now we have jerky lineups. So one flavor we just showed you for the refrigerated was a cherry maple turkey. Now that's cherry maple syrup. So the maple syrup is actually right here in Michigan. We get that from Clare, Michigan, and that we burn through a lot of that. That's our #1 seller for our refrigerated jerky line.
Matt Schock says Michigan brand jerky is awesome. Jake Porter says, that would never last 3 days around anybody I know.
Exactly. And typically when we eat these on the boat, Mike, it's usually before even the end of the fishing trip. But that's a great thing. They're great boat snacks, road trip snacks. That's where we see a lot of our business is, again, it's healthier than going in and buying the candy bars or the potato chips and the pop and everything. So a lot of our sales are the road trips and people snacking on it on the road trips.
I'm going to tilt this down here. Now, here's a question. How much would it cost? And I don't know if this is a fair question, to get a venison ham made up. And again, this is just an example here of some of the products. But how much would that cost, Nick?
Yep. So right now our hams are $35 a piece. Now that's if you bring in your venison ham like you're mentioning. So what that is we pump and brine that with our same ham brine that we use on our hams. So it's pretty darn good if you haven't tried it yet. But what we do is we take your ham, we pump it and inject it with all the ham brine, we net it, and then we smoke it for you. Now, I know $35 is kind of getting a lot, and in this day and age, everything's going up. Yeah, it's just kind of the name of the game. But you got to remember, for our smoke process, like we mentioned, that's a 14-hour cook. So that's a lot of hours that's tying up the smokehouse, the ham brine. So, yep, that's one thing that's part of the custom season where you can bring in your venison ham, and it's pretty darn good.
Will I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you anticipate we'll do ham for the holidays this year?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep, that's still our plan for this year, and I'm sure not many people are new listeners right now. They've been part of this before, but ham for the holidays is every Wednesday. Usually we start the week or two before Thanksgiving, so we hit Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday, but we do it for those 6 to 7 weeks where every Wednesday we select a winner on Wednesday Night Live to ship a ham direct to your door. So it's a fun promo that we love to do with you, and we have a great turnout every year and a lot of success.
All right, Nick, I appreciate your time. I'm going to turn this around. We're going to wrap this up here. I'll turn my camera back around. And if there are any more questions you have for Nick as we're doing this, feel free to ask. Again, my name is Mike Avery. I'm at the Michigan brand plant in Bay City, Michigan, eating one of these right here, Mike Avery peppered elk stick. I love the fact that these have a real peppery bite. I love pepper, and these things satisfy that craving very well. The website is michiganbrand.net. That's michiganbrand.net. On the website, there is a store locator. People say there's no stores in my area. Well, you know what? There very well may be. Go to michiganbrand.net. Click on the store locator button. If there is not a store genuinely in your area. You can order online. Nick, anything in the online store you can order, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, anything in the online store you can order, have it shipped to you. Tim says the peppered elk is his favorite. Bruce says great show tonight. Okay, again, so it is always my pleasure. Hey, Sam, how are you? It is always my pleasure to work with Michigan-based family-owned companies. In this case, like many of my partnerships, it has developed beyond a business relationship into a friendship. The Grillo family are great people. They're good, solid, hardworking, family-oriented people who just happen to love the outdoors, hunting and fishing. So that's a very good relationship, and I appreciate Nick's friendship. I appreciate the tour of the facility tonight. I would encourage you to go to michiganbrand.net. That's michiganbrand.net. Check out their products. Check out the Mike Avery Hunter Stick, because every Mike Avery Hunter Stick you buy, an angel gets its wings. Oh, we can't say that, can we? Nick said, no, that's not true. It's a great thought, though, isn't it? michiganbrand.net, michiganbrand.net. My name is Mike Avery. The website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. That's MikeAveryOutdoors.com. My email address, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Love to hear from you. Again, MichiganBrand.net, a great Michigan-based family-owned company that just happens to make some very, very good products. Have a good night, my friend. We'll talk to you next time right here on Wednesday Night Live.